Okay, it's 11 a.m. Let's do it. Once again, welcome to everybody, and thanks for taking time from your busy schedules. And on behalf of Toyota in the Portland region, we want you to know we appreciate everything you do, and we're persevering just fine through these challenging times, and more dealers are getting back to experiencing the new norm. And we're just happy to continue our webinar series and focused on product. And specifically, I'm really excited today. This vehicle, and I think you already know what it is, but it's the best-selling vehicle of all time. Almost 50 million Corollas, if you can believe that. It came starting in 1966, so a little over a half century ago, and almost double the next. I think it's the Volkswagen Beetle. But besides that, I consider. When I think of great rivalries, and anybody that knows me knows that I love sports, and I compare this Corolla versus Civic. It's kind of like the Red Sox versus the Yankees, Lakers, Celtics. Here locally, let's say the Ducks and the Huskies. It's just an age-old rivalry. They're a worthy competitor. In that standard compact segment, it really is a two-horse race. It's the Corolla and it's the Civic. And I'm going to throw this over to CJ in a minute, but really, we came out with the new hatchback, I guess it was 2 summers ago, and you guys know technology, the safety, fun to drive. It remains all that. We're heading into the spring-summer selling season here where this car usually does exceedingly well, and we've got great incentives out there. And without any further ado, you know her as CJ, we know her as Cynthia Johnson, and at this point, I'm going to turn it over, and CJ, take it away.
Thank you, Ron, and welcome, everybody. It's good to know that you're out there, even though I can't see your faces, but to be able to communicate with you all and to go over some of our product, some of the things just as a refresher, just to keep things in your mind and on your mind for your customers. So today we are going to be reviewing the Corolla versus the competition, the hidden secret. As Ron was saying, the sales training team are all here. And Ron, of course, you guys have already heard him. Steve Dahlberg is online, myself, Edgar, David, and we have Sheila on the line with us. And this is our guru for everything that we do. Everything goes through Sheila. So we just want to take the opportunity to thank her for just being part of the team and just always supporting us and you all at the dealership level. So this morning, a few housekeeping items. Throughout this presentation, you guys are always welcome to type your questions in the Q&A dialog box. If you could, put your dealership name along with your name. If there's more information that we can provide for you where a question is being asked, we'll be able to contact you all and know who is who. Questions are going to be answered by our team at the conclusion of this webinar. This webinar is a 30-minute competitive comparison. It's intended to enhance and refresh your dynamic product knowledge that you already have. This specific overview will not be eligible for ILT credit. However, the sales training team, we are preparing some ILTs to come out to you using this virtual platform. We will definitely keep you updated on the progress of those ILTs. And again, you'll have that clear communication. Sheila will make sure that you all are in the know. So today's agenda, we're going to be talking about show me the numbers and who's the real competitor. Here's the advantage, the hidden secret, the insane car for insane or the sane car for insane times, safety at its best, and then we will follow up with some Q&A. So here's the numbers, the standard subcompact segment, and we're looking at numbers from the U.S. standpoint. Civic does come in at number 1, Corolla, 2, Sentra, 3, and Elantra, 4. Toyota is down at 8% year over year in registrations, but the Civic is also down 19.1%. Toyota year-to-date, 21.6 of the market share. Civic is at 24.9. And I'll refer to my teammate, and this is the way Stevie D always explains market share, is that our piece of the pie. How much are we out visible with your nameplate, with your dealership rolling around out there? That's how we're able to see what our market share is. We want to be visible out in the market. Corolla is up 3.8% market share year over year. So the numbers for standard subcompact segment as it pertains to the Portland region. So you see a reversal that Corolla is number one in our Portland region for market share. Civic is number two, the Impreza is number three, and the Soul is number four. So Toyota is down right now year over year, 5.1 in registrations, but Toyota year to date is 20.4% market share. Corolla is up 3.6 in market share, but notice that Civic is down 17.4 year over year. Our standard subcompact segment, Corolla sells in the Portland region, and you can see here from March 2020 to 2019 that there's some huge changes and increases when it comes to Corolla. Corolla accounts for 30% of our year-to-date Portland region year-to-date passenger car sales. The gas, hatchback, and the hybrid account for 42% of the year-to-date Portland region passenger car sales. So that says a lot. And we know that during this pandemic that we are running low on product, but as soon as they can ramp that back up, you guys are going to have plenty of product to be able to sell out there with customers. So standard subcompact leader, Corolla, the largest segment in the industry, and Ron kind of talked and pointed this out when he was talking about it. This vehicle has legacy. 75K, more units sold than the standard midsize segment. In 2019, the Corolla hatchback experienced a 5.2 increase, which is a best ever year. So no manufacturer is better known than building strong, reliable cars than Toyota. And the car that built that reputation is what we're looking at today. It's the Corolla. Today we will review a few key points about the 2020 Corolla. So who's the real competition? Here we have the obvious contenders for this standard subcompact segment. Which one is truly the true real competitor? Is it, well, of course, we're Corolla, we're there. Civic, Sentra, or is it Elantra? So what's going on here? Well, we're going to talk about that. So right now, you guys, the hidden secret, really the main competition, the contender, is the Honda Civic. And as Ron stated, it's been this way for a very long time, and these two vehicles are very neck and neck. The Toyota Corolla and the Honda Civic, both of them are and have been best-selling vehicles in this standard compact segment. Each offer reliability, a no-frills, low cost of ownership. For the purpose of this comparison, though, we're going to be focusing on the sedan body styles of both of these vehicles, but it's worth noting Civic also has a four-door hatchback, and they do have a coupe. The Corolla, yes, we do have a hatchback as well. Looking at the grade strategies here, Corolla starts at the L, moves up to the LE, XLE, the hybrid. We have the LE hybrid, the SE, the XE manual transmission, and the beautiful XSE. The grade strategy for the Honda Civic, the LX, the Sport, the EX, the EXL, and the Touring. So Corolla versus the Civic, shifting gears here. So as we compare both of these vehicles, you're going to notice the strengths of Corolla. They're going to be highlighted in red, and the strengths of the Civic will be highlighted in blue. So as we presented earlier in our comparisons, and we take out the competition to you all in the dealerships, we allow you to get in the vehicles, to drive the vehicles, to feel the vehicle. And that is where you're really getting the best comparison of the strengths and the weaknesses of these vehicles. You're able to experience that and really to create the stories for your customers. We'll notice, say, for instance, the base MSRP. We'll see that Toyota's at 22,050, but we're looking at the base price of the Civic CVT. You're paying an extra $800 for that technology. We're gaining in the four-cylinder 2.0 inline where they have a 1.5. Our horsepower, we have increased from our previous generation 37 points. So we're up to 169 in that area. Also with our torque, we're up to 151. That's 23 units that we are gaining in that area. That dynamic CVT, I'm not going to say too much about it, not because I don't want to, but we have this kind of set up to where we're going to go in a little bit deeper because this is a great enhancement. Because of the TNGA platform, we're able to do a little bit with that dynamic shift CVT. Our MPG, we're winning there. Our driving range, we're winning there. Our tank capacity. But notice the refresh on the Civic was October 2019. Okay, that's great. But here we have a new model that was introduced in February of 2019, which is built on our new TNGA platform. So the exterior fascia. This is really with the driving impressions that you receive when we bring out the competition. You're able to see that obviously when a customer is cross-shopping and when they're looking in this segment, the Civic Sport comes up as eye candy. They really like what they've done with the fascia. But then we talk about, when you do research and buying a product, you're looking at what's going to be practical. Where's your longevity really going to be? Is it really in how something really looks? But you want to make sure that it's going to be an outstanding and long-standing product. So I will say with the new TNGA platform, we brought in a nice dynamic styling. It's sporty, it's modern. I like to say it's sensual. It has some appeal to it. We're getting high-grade LED lights. Our outside mirrors, we've changed the location of that. Why? For visibility of the driver. Their outside mirrors are located on the A-pillar. They have a standard black grille where we have a trapezoid grille. It's three-dimensional and it's available on selected models. We have 18-inch alloy wheels that are available. So do they. They have numerous blind spots. If you've ever driven the product, you know where those blind spots are. We have reduced blind spots because of enhancements that we've made to the vehicle. We have an available chrome dual exhaust tip where they have none. We have a standard rear spoiler. Our wheelbase is pretty much neck and neck. Overall length, we beat there, but they are a little bit, just a smidget wider in their product. It's small, but it's spacious. Both of the vehicles I would consider are a smaller type vehicle, but they do have a lot of space in them. It's spacious. It's comfortable, though, because we gain in areas with leg room. We've made a really good environment in the front of the vehicle. It's a more cockpit style, drivability, focus control buttons. That's one thing that Civic did do. We noticed on some of their rejectors is that they had no buttons with where the interior of their vehicle, everything was touchscreen. So they made the improvements when they made that redesign or that refresh, and they added buttons, you all. So now the Civic does have buttons. We have auto-dimming rear mirror that is optional. Our seats are spacious, not only in the rear, but increased leg room, okay? We have a front sunroof that's standard on the SE that's not available on the Civic. Our cargo capacity, 13.0 cubic feet, where they're at 11.9. That really makes a difference depending on how this car is going to be used. Cargo space is very important. Our headroom, front and rear, are over theirs, but They do have a little bit more leg room than we have in our vehicle. So the infotainment, this is really a value story because we have so many things that are standard. Okay, we'll start with the MID. So they have a 7-inch MID, which is standard. Well, we have an optional. It depends on what level of vehicle the customer picks and what they're driving. They're gaining either 4.2 or a 7-inch. We have an 8-inch touchscreen where they have a 5-inch touch display. They both have USB ports and a 12V auxiliary outlet. Bluetooth, of course, is standard. This is where we can see, and it's how the customer is going to look at it. They have remote engine start built into their key fob, but we do have a remote connect that's available. And then on selected vehicles, remember our remote start on our key fob. Standard Apple CarPlay and Amazon Alexa on our side, where they do have standard Android Auto, and that's just the timing of when everything has come out. But going forth, you're going to see that Android Auto is going to be a player. They do have a walkaway auto lock system where we don't have that. We have standard Wi-Fi Connect and Safety Connect and available connected services depending on what grade of vehicle that customer picks. But the one thing that I do want to point out as far as the speaker system, okay, they have a 180-watt 8-speaker system, but we have a JBL audio, you all, on the SC, CVT, the XLE, and the XSC. Anybody that is a music type of person, and I love it, that JBL system is awesome, and I don't feel that you can beat it. So the Corolla Hybrid. So this is just total a value story. It's the same car for insane times. So really, what are the competitors in this segment? No, it's not the Honda Insight. It is the Toyota Prius. It is our own vehicle that we compete against. Why is that? Because we are really the masters of hybrid technology. There's not a manufacturer that can beat what we do. So where's all this happening? What's going on? So where's our vehicle built? It's assembled in Japan, although we do have the Blue Springs, Mississippi plant that produces Corolla, and then soon here to come the Huntsville plant in Alabama will also provide Corollas. The key features in our vehicles, LED daytime running lights, right? We have the 7-inch multi-informational display and a smart key system. Our battery, nickel metal hydride, that is because we have perfected that technology. We use that technology across the board. Not saying that lithium will not be a player to come in the future, but for right now, our name is on that nickel metal hydride battery. We've been able to bring it, make it smaller, make it lighter, change the location of where the battery is located. Now you're seeing that that's going from the trunk to the passenger rear seat underneath. Our torque, insane power, you guys, from an electric motor. And you're seeing the refinement of our torque as you're looking at your XSE RAV. It I say outperforms the gas model. When you drive that vehicle, it is tremendous. So key competitors, again, I talked about it, it's us. It's the Toyota Prius. It's right in the family. Fuel economy, you'll notice over to the right, the MPG for the Corolla, it's better than the Prius, you all. We have the same torque value. We have the same horsepower value. But look at the vehicle range. There's quite a bit of a difference in the Corolla LE Hybrid. Fuel economy, you can't beat it. Yes, CJ, right now, fuel is low. I understand that. But that's subject to change. But we have to look at the other components of the hybrid system that we're making hybrids that are funner to drive. They're known for performance now and not just efficiency. The cost of ownership over a 5-year cost of own, $30,000. So you are going to make up for your money. You're going to be able to see the longevity of this vehicle where you have made the right decision. And then again, warranty and Toyota Care. It's across the board on the Prius and on the Corolla. We're getting battery 10 years, 150,000 miles, where we've seen some of these vehicles with the original battery that are going over 200,000 miles or plus. 8 years or 1,000 miles on systems. We have Toyota Care, you guys, 2 years, 25,000 miles, and your roadside assistance. When you present just this amount, when the customer decides that they are looking for hybrid technology, now they're looking at a smaller MSRP, 23,100 for the LE hybrid. But when you look at the Prius LE four-wheel drive or front-wheel drive, excuse me, starting at 25,535. That's a difference of $2,435. Not a lot of money, but to a customer that may not be able to get into a hybrid, you can now have the perfect product, and that is your LE Corolla hybrid. So safety at its best. We know that Toyota Safety Sense is the best thing that's out there. Okay, we offer so much that it's standard. It's standard on all trims. It is free. Free when I say that, yes, the cost, we can't say free, but we can say that the customer is receiving all of this technology and they're not paying an additional amount for it. The one thing that I will note or point out on the Honda Sensing is that they've added the traffic sign recognition, you all. Why did they do this? Because they're trying to compete with Toyota. They know what we have in our packaging, and our packaging is great. We have pre-collision with pedestrian detection, lane departure alert with steering assist, automatic high beams, full range dynamic cruise control, road sign assist, lane tracing assist, all of this in one package. But I will make a note, and it's not on the screen, but we have to take notice that Hyundai has introduced a new safety system, and it's equipped with the Elantra. It includes the parking distance warning, a forward collision, high beam, adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, safe exit, blind spot, collision warning, and rear cross traffic warning. So now, I don't know if that's going to change the status as far as the competition, but just for you all to know that they have it and it's on their vehicle. So warranty across the board, everything is pretty much neck and neck until we get to roadside assistance, which is unlimited for 2 years, where it is 36 or 36,000 miles, and we have a no-cost maintenance where they do not have a no-cost maintenance. So those are key features to be able to know when you're talking with that customer and they're cross-shopping, because they do ask about warranty. It's very important. So Corolla Accolades. So all the time, Toyota is receiving accolades about the vehicle, the efficiency of the vehicle, National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration. They're getting accolades from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, a top safety pick, the Green Car of the Year. And that's not just on the hybrid. If you think about the efficiency, even in the gas vehicle, you know, you're gaining. It's a win-win situation. It really doesn't matter what vehicle you pick in this segment for Corolla, you're getting a great vehicle. And then again, our KBB, Kelley Blue Book, gave their overall ratings a 4/5. So definitely a home run and a winner. So now you've noticed when we've gone through these trainings, we've really ramped up the way that we are communicating and putting out information and content to you all. We've got some wonderful walk-around videos, and it's only going to get better. But we have introduced our own Instagram account, you all. We want to make sure that you're following us because there's going to be so much content. Maybe there's some times where you're not able to log on to engage, but you're going to be able to receive some really good information on Instagram. The other thing is that we have created a YouTube account. You're going to be able to gain information, videos different things that we're going to be putting out there, but we want you to follow us and we want you all to subscribe. We're innovating and just trying to get out in front of all of the product content that's available for you all. So what are the resources, CJ? Toyota Engage. Toyota Engage. You guys connect to Toyota Engage. It has come a long way. We really have refined this tool, and we're putting out the best of information. It's a resource that you know that you can count on. Although I know people use Google, but a lot of times you can click in Google, type in something, go and test it and look and Engage, and you might be surprised that it may be off. I'm just saying. Make sure you use Toyota Engage. So we're going to flip to the Q&A here. And as always, I thank you all for attending. But I want to talk about real quickly before we get to that, what are some of the pros and the cons, just to wrap up everything that I've talked about this morning. There's Toyota, of course, a long list of standard advanced safety features. We got to drive that home. We have to let the customer know how important and what it is that they are gaining. Our interior, it's solid. It's high qualities, touch materials, soft touch materials. Comfort, ride comfort, and the quality of the ride. We definitely have stepped up the game with our new TNGA platform and strong fuel economy numbers. But what are some of the strengths that Honda has? Where we have no Android Auto, and they do, okay? A little bit sportier trims. It all boils down to what is it that the customer wants? Is it the eye candy that I look at and then I may get a little tired of everything else that's going on, but it looks good on the outside? But is it durability? Is it reliability? Is it what we do here at Toyota and we do it best? Customer knows that they have a solid vehicle. So just wanted to give you some of the pros and cons on these vehicles because they are pretty evenly matched. And it's just us taking the lead, taking the step, knowing the product, and putting your personal experiences that you've gained during our competitive drives, during our launches. You've been in these vehicles and you can speak to it and speak to it confidently. So we're going to go to our Q&A right now. Steve is going to come online and he's going to navigate our Q&A session. Thank you all for attending.
Yes, thank you, CJ. Great information as always, especially on the Corolla versus the Civic. It's been a rivalry for years, and you know, our new Civic with the new Civic hatchbacks, a home run for sure. Yeah, we do have a few questions. I'll start with this one. This one's an anonymous, comes from somebody anonymous, maybe somebody on a phone. Let's see. I've heard about a fixed launch gear in the Corolla. How does this assist the CVT, and does it have any other benefits? And I'm going to kick this over to Mr. David Yingling.
Oh, well, hello there, everybody. So actually, yes, the fixed launch gear in the Corolla is awesome. So essentially you get the benefits of a CVT. It's smooth, it's fuel efficient, but then you get the direct driving feel out of this launch gear. It's fast off the line, it accelerates, but also it helps the CVT in the long run. You get a 20% faster shift speed because of that launch gear. So great question, and there's a lot of good benefits to that. So important to talk about.
Yeah, thank you, David. We all know, and those of you who know, we've been out to your stores. We've done several head-to-heads when we've had the vehicles, and we've done the street drives with you. And all those competitors with the CVTs, especially Honda, they have an issue with ramping up and getting the traction of the torque going. And that physical first launch gear definitely is a plus for Toyota. I do have another question. This is from Kesley at Marysville. In fact, there's a few questions from Kesley. And this one is, this is off topic. And then we've had this asked before. So this is off topic. I have quite a few people asking about the RAV4 Prime. we don't get the Prius Prime here in Washington, do you know if we will get the RAV4 Prime and when we can expect the RAV4 Prime to start rolling out? Well, I'll answer the last part of the question. We're looking for early June production, so you should see the RAV4 Prime in the Portland region somewhere in late June, early July. I'm going to kick the first part of the question over to Ronnie Rinnan.
Thanks, Steve. This falls in similar to the Prius Prime, zero-emission vehicles, ZEV states. There's 8 in the country. Right now, the only 2 on the West Coast are Oregon and Washington. I think the other 6 are Maine, Vermont, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Maryland, and Connecticut, I believe. Anyway, the only 2. So the key is for Toyota to receive ZEV credits, we have to wholesale these vehicles in a ZEV state, zero-emission vehicle. Right now, state of Washington, nor Idaho, nor Montana, nor Alaska are ZEV states. So because of that, my understanding, and it's a little bit fluid because I think the state of Washington is trying to get this changed as we speak, but I don't think it's in place yet. And I checked with corporate yesterday. I think we'll probably be wholesaling these to the state of Oregon. Now, you can sell this vehicle in 50 states, and that's the way it was marketed out of the gate with the Prius Prime, and I think that caused a little bit of confusion, not because you can't sell it, because it's hard for the other states to get them. You either have to buy them outright or trade with one of the states that does receive them, i.e. the state of Oregon. So depending on whoever asked that question, what state they're in, hopefully that answers the question. Very similar to Prius Prime. To get ZEV credits, Toyota has to wholesale these vehicles in ZEV states. Right now, the only one in the Portland region is Oregon. So until further notice, until somebody tells me different, I'm going to assume that's where all the vehicles are going to get wholesaled. And then similar to Prius Prime, dealers will have the ability to transact with Oregon dealers, et cetera, to get the RAV4 Prime. And if I find out anything different, we will communicate that out to you as soon as we know anything different. Thank you.
Thank you, Ronnie. That's a good answer. And hopefully that Washington State will be working towards becoming a ZEV state, and we'll be able to wholesale those to you. Like Ronnie said, you're still able to sell them. That would be done through a dealer trade, and that's how that works. Another question from Kesley from Marysville, a very good question because I've asked this too. When will we get more trim levels in the Corolla Hybrid? Because we only have the LE currently. People want more luxury in that particular vehicle. I'll throw this over to CJ, and CJ might be able to answer that.
Sorry, I was on mute. So with, you notice that when we introduce a vehicle, and it may be just that one in basic trim level, that as we go further, with the TNGA platform, we usually will offer additional trim levels. We have not been told anything specifically about getting increased trim levels, but just the way that Toyota does business, I could imagine that that'll be happening soon.
Yeah, that's right. Once we ramp up production and whatnot. Right now, all of our specific production's going to the small, the growth and the ramping up of production is going to the small sport utilities. Of course, those are the vehicles that are, they're taking over the volume sales. I have a question that says anonymous, but it's not. It's from Colin at Rodland. Thank you, Colin. And thank you for being on almost every one of these, if not every one of these webinars. Colin has been participating. His question is, the last 2 webinars have mentioned the 80-year, 100,000-mile hybrid system is standard on hybrid vehicles. Is this for all 2020 Toyota hybrid vehicles? And is this to cover all hybrid componentry? That is an excellent question, Colin. And I'm going to open this up to the team here to see if they can answer this. Because to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure of the answer. So does anyone in the team have an answer to this question?
I know, Steve, when that update was introduced and put out, the components part, they didn't really specify if it was just on new. They really were talking about the battery part of it, that it would be retro. But they
Okay.
didn't really say about the components part of it. So that would be something that we may need to get back to Colin on.
Yeah, Colin, we'll do some digging and get you more specific information on that 8-year, 100,000-mile hybrid system warranty on which models and what does it cover. Thank you for that question. And
Steve,
thank you.
I'll
Go
jump
ahead.
in on that to add a little bit. So the 8-year, 100,000-mile hybrid warranty is on the components, and yes, we'll get back to you on what components specifically, but important to mention that the battery itself, the hybrid battery, is the 10-year, 150,000 miles.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, thank you, David. And that is industry leading, especially versus Honda across the board, Honda hybrid versus Toyota hybrid. And that's a huge benefit. And that's really goes to the nickel hydride battery technology that we've used since the very beginning, back in the early 2000s with the first and second generation Prius. So I don't see any more. Oh, wait, I do. They're being published right now. Nope, that was a thank you from Colin.
Hey, Stevie D.
Yep,
Mind if I butt in here?
go ahead.
I was doing a little research on Engage here, and I found a downloadable page that talks about hybrids and maintenance of hybrids. And it states that hybrids have a system warranty of 8 years, 100,000 miles, and that's on hybrid-related components. And as David mentioned, that the hybrid battery has a 10-year, 150,000-mile warranty. And I know, Colin, you have that question. I can definitely email this to you if you want to just put your email there in the chat. I'll definitely send this over to you.
Thank you, Edgar. And Edgar got that quick answer for everybody because he went right to his phone to the Engage app as if a customer asked that. And yes, Colin, you are our customer. And that's how easy it is to get the information you need for your customers when you go to the Engage app. So I don't see any other questions.
We got one more here.
Oh, I do see it. Kesley's going to win the most pertinent questions of the webinar award. The question is, Android Auto, will it be included in the 2021 Corolla? Also, will it be on all vehicles by 2021? And that's another great question that I don't specifically have the answer to right now, but I know my team is probably getting on the Engage app. But
Hey, Steve, I know that one. The answers are yes, and yes.
There you go. So Android Auto will be a standard feature in the 2021 Corolla, as well as all Toyotas, Ronnie, or all new TNGA Toyotas?
All new TNGA Toyotas. Thank you for that clarification.
Yep. Kesley, great questions, Colin. If anybody has another question, we got a few minutes here. We see Colin's email for Edgar. Thank you, Colin. So, well, we're running a little over the half an hour time. We want to make sure that we are mindful of your time so you can get back to taking care of your customers. Appreciate everybody's questions. We love this engagement by our dealers, and we'll continue these webinars. But for now, I'm going to kick it back over to CJ.
So again, we can't thank you enough for you all taking time out of your day to connect with us. I want to make sure, again, that I'm always talking about Toyota Engage and just Edgar showing the real-time, real-live capability of using that product. But I want to remind you of our next up is the Tacoma versus the competition. That's going to be on Thursday May 28th at 11 a.m. So we will see you all on Thursday, May 28th at 11 for a little bit of information regarding the Tacoma versus the competition. Thank you all very much. Stay safe and have a great Memorial weekend. Thank you.